What is up, everybody? Jeffrey Lyles on the scene. Lyles Movie Files is rocking in your ear. This is a special episode for us. We have achieved episode 50. We hit our first big milestone. Hopefully there's 50 more to come and 50 more after that. Joining me for this show is little brother Jace. What's up?
What's up, bro? And got the mute button the first time this time. What?
A winner is you. Congratulations. Chief, what's happening with you, man?
Everything is good, Jeff. Everything is good. Shout out to Javon, Jace, and whoever Gunner is, you know what I mean? So, but everything is good. You good?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to get this thing started.
Indeed.
Jay King, what's up, man?
What's good, Jeff? What's good, man? Chief, Chase, glad to do this. I ain't been here for the full 50, man, but I don't know. I don't even know how long it's been, but here's to 50 more tons of success, man. This has been a welcome part of my weeks. Always look forward to it. With that said, thanks to the listeners, man, for real. Thank y'all.
All right. Well, let's just jump right into it. So today marked the start of the CW kind of pumping out their trailers for their big Arrowverse shows. So we saw a Supergirl trailer, Flash, Arrow, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow. So we've seen what's to come. Fellas, are any of these trailers exciting you about the seasons to come? That's a lot of silence.
I was going to say, I haven't seen any of the new trailers, so that is going to go with my caveat. What I saw at Comic-Con, I'm whelmed, so maybe I'm going to put myself on mute for a little bit and see if I see something that really jumps out that, oh, wow, that's really going to make this season exciting. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, so we'll see what happens.
Chief, how about you, man?
I don't know, man. Last season, except for Black Lightning, I think everything kind of like Flash. I think it had a slight dip in the previous season. So maybe they can bounce back from that, come up. Didn't the last show end with a kid from the future or something?
Yeah.
So
Barry and Iris' kid.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe this season will be, like I said, man, 27 episodes for a guy that they killed simply in the last episode, was a bit much. And Supergirl, the first half of last season of Supergirl was awesome.
It was really good. It got me back into the
really
show and wanted to watch more of it. And then the roof collapsed and the ceiling dropped.
And then the second half of that of Supergirl was just, I mean, like I said, man, Chocolate Daddy, 13 Kookaroos. So that went bad. I don't watch Arrow. Black Lightning was good throughout. So we'll see, man. I'm not really. I can't say that I'm excited. Whatchamacallit is coming back. The show I watched,
Lucifer?
No. The Mutants, and I can't think of it right now.
Gifted.
Yeah, the Gifted. Gifted is coming back, and that was good. So, but I don't think it's a CW show, but I'm saying it's coming back. So I'm looking forward to that as far as superhuman shows go. But yeah. So we'll see, man. I nothing but Black Lightning last season left me kind of impressed. And then maybe Black Lightning because I didn't know where it was going. I had no clue of, and it didn't take, 30 years for them to figure out anything, So, if you got two enemies and you're getting shot at, it's going to be one or the other. So it's pretty, we'll see. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to The Gifted. I'm looking forward to Black Lightning. The other shows I will watch. I'm not sure about Supergirl. I watch Flash. Supergirl. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm glad fall is back. Some good shows will be coming back. So, we'll see what happens.
The interesting thing for me is I just checked. Luke Cage second season was on June 22nd. That's when it all dropped. So I've watched that. I've watched Iron Fist season 2. Gunner, what's up, man? We're talking about Netflix shows. We're talking about the CW Arrowverse shows. What are you excited about coming forward this fall?
I want to see where they go with Arrow with with him in jail. Although, are they going to prolong it? I'm hoping they don't his whole season he's just in there, and then all of a sudden he comes out, because that just makes for a boring outside world, right? Mm-hmm. Flash, definitely looking forward to the new old villain. That sounds awesome.
How about Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow?
I was silent on purpose. That's it.
What about Black Lightning? You
yeah. But I'm not excited that they added 10 to 15 more shows, right? It was cool because it was nice and pithy last time. I was like, oh, word, that's perfect. Now, a little worried about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat because I watched those 2 Netflix seasons. I watched Luke Cage season 2, Iron Fist season 2, and Cage was 13 episodes and Iron Fist was 10. And I didn't feel like they had a wasted episode. And when it was over, it was like, cool. That was exactly how long that story needed. While I want to see the story continue, I felt like, okay, that's good for right now. I'll come back next year and get the next installment. But I feel like both of those shows would have suffered so much if they tacked on another 10 or 12 episodes just to stretch things out to go a whole regular TV season. And I'm kind of surprised that even though they have more shows than they know what to do with, even had to bump Supergirl to Sunday nights and double dip on some shows, like Arrow is on the same night as Legends, and Black Lightning and Flash are on the same nights. I think it would be better for them to just kind of break up, maybe do 8 episodes, and then you have your mid-season break, then throw in your other show for 8 episodes, and then come back and wrap up the other one. But I'm just not excited about any of them, and I think it's because I really like the Netflix model of 10, 13 episodes, and then I'm done. And in the last stretch of Arrowverse shows didn't have me feeling like any of them warranted 22, 23 episodes.
I really think they're going through fatigue with the writing, man. That's why they're kind of, if they're saying they're losing ratings and they're moving the shows, shuffling the shows around, probably because they're too long. The seasons, meaning they're too long. We don't need the love stories 4 episodes in a row. We damn sure don't need a karaoke episode ever. And we're not even going to talk about Legends, Care Bear situation, whatever the hell that was. So, then the crossover should have been so much better than what it was. It was just, it was so terrible.
I always feel like with them nowadays, they're focusing so much on the crossover that everything else kind of, they can't quite maintain the same level of consistency and quality. So it's like after the crossover, most of the shows really suffered. Supergirl was, I honestly feel like Supergirl was the best of the bunch until its break. And then when it came back, it was a shambles and a shell of itself. But before then, it was really, really good. And that was probably around episode 10. And if they had just left that cross or cliffhanger where Rain beat Supergirl and just left her laying, and that was it, we had to wait another year or 9 months to see what happened, I think people really would have been excited for the next season. Instead, Rain's going to get beaten and everything's going to be pretty much status quo. So I don't know. And I'm really not looking forward to Supergirl. I may not be watching that until the crossover just because John's not going to be in head of Star. Wynn has been replaced by a Brainiac who's lame, and I just can't stand him. And I'm just not excited about Supergirl at all.
Wait, John's not head of the DEO? Who's that? Never mind.
Nah, Alex is now in charge because she was the best person.
Notice I didn't watch the end of it because I just couldn't get through it. I was like, this whole Rain situation is wonderful, but everything else that in between really just, I wouldn't say it ruined it. I'll probably catch up one day, but The Wire season 2. But I just, ugh. It was just nothing for me there anymore. I was just like, are they gonna battle? No, okay.
Yep, keep it moving. Right. It's like, okay, fellas, thanks for whatever it was you were trying to do. All right.
The reveal. I mean, did any of the reveals of new characters coming to the CW guys make you guys want to watch any more of the shows?
Who's coming?
There's like 1,000.
I want to see why
people.
Supergirl's dressed like Iron Man.
That could be Red Sun Supergirl.
In the trailer?
Yeah, I just watched it and I was like,
okay.
Oh yeah, Red
yeah.
Sun.
I mean, there could be the Red Sun Supergirl needs the costume. I mean, there's some ways to go, but it's just like, I mean, I know I sent the list to everybody, and I was just like,
oh yeah.
None of these people sound like they're interesting characters that are going to drive a season. It's like last season, Supergirl introduced Morgan Edge. Where's Morgan Edge? You know, how many episodes is he going to be in? Yeah, we're done with it.
How many episodes was he in last time? Like 4? Seriously.
I don't think. I think 4 is an exaggeration. I think his last episode was the mid-season break, and then after that, I don't think he might have come back once. But it was like, okay, you guys had a good actor, and you guys didn't really show why Morgan Edge is really doing anything, but you guys dropped a ball on that to go focus on something else. It's like, as much as I talked about Arrow last season, the fact that they actually are keeping their main bad guy, Ricardo Diaz, for the next season, it's like, well, if he wasn't a big threat this season, last season, maybe this year he actually becomes a bigger threat. So that's actually a positive to me. It's like, okay, maybe it'll be like how Iron Fist, like some of the stuff didn't seem like it was working, but now that they've kind of course corrected, it actually seems it could work next season.
Yeah. And with Supergirl, I'm not quite sure what the word is for it, but they've made a lot of headlines because they're going to be introducing a transgender character onto the show. And Supergirl, was it the second season, focused a lot of time on Alex realizing that, hey, I'm a lesbian, and I like this other gay chick too, and yeah, we should hook up and get married because that'll make all the problems perfect. And I thought for the most part they handled Alex's coming out pretty decently, for the most part, outside of the whole lack of no one having a problem with it except for Kara for like 2 minutes. But I feel like they're also going to gloss over issues that are really thoughtful, that are worth discussing when you introduce a transgender character onto the show. And I feel like they're just going to try to gloss over that and go, well, it's just perfectly normal. Everybody's fine with it. What do you guys think about this? Will Supergirl botch the handling of this, or will it just be one of those deals where everyone should accept it, so every character on our show is going to accept it?
They're going to botch it.
Oh, yeah, well, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Yeah, they're just going to botch it by everybody. Like, yeah, this is great. Anyways, you're not even going to touch the subject. Everybody's just fine with it, and whatever, which is great. Everybody's fine with it, but when they say everything's fine with it, they gloss over it like when people say, I don't see race. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, no. They're not going to do anything well with it. And if they do, it's going to be that one episode where they key in on, like, somebody, like last time with the dad, right? They're going to key in on, like, one person who's, like, an offshoot character. Like, be daring at least. Have, like, a main character like, yo, I'm not cool with this. Have, like, Wen be like, yo, this is whack. You know what I mean? Like, have Wen be, like, a total trans against it. Like, somebody main, like, back in the day, in the 80s, they used to have people do that all the time. Like, and they, you know, they would compromise later or whatever. But at the same time, it's like,
No, you hit it, Gunner. They're going to have super bigot that they can throw away by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, instead of like how, like I said, in the 80s, there would actually be like a season-long arc mad about the black person in the character, in the cast. Like, It's not one episode. It's like, he's messing up our dynamic. You know, this person's really a rogue element. We got to get rid of him. I mean, hey, it could have been a woman back in the 80s. It's like, hey, what's this white woman doing in our newsroom? She's really messing up our flow. We had a good thing going, and that would be a season-long thing. But Supergirl has it'll do exactly like it did with all topical issues. They'll do it for one issue and then botch it, and then okay, we're done with that, right? See, we tackled it. Give us some accolades, yay us! But no, they're gonna botch it.
All right, so our boy Jon Snow, Kit Harington, has made some headlines yesterday because he questioned why no gay actor has starred in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And it didn't really seem to be that well thought out of a discussion point, because he wasn't saying why is there no gay character headline in a Marvel film, but a gay actor. And I just was kind of curious, is it a deal where we've got to meet certain quotas, like we need an LGBT character to be fully representative of everybody? Does it need your sexuality mean that, okay, you're gay, you can now get this role, or what? I just thought it was an odd statement where he's trying to be inclusive, but limiting roles that gay actors can play. Rupert Everett played Julia Roberts' best friend in My Best Friend's Wedding, and it wasn't a thing of, hey, he's got to be gay to make that character work. And I just don't understand why it would need to be like, hey, this guy's gay. He is now a star of a Marvel film. And do you think Marvel cares about the sexuality of their actors?
Okay, Jeff, you say that, and how one of the more interesting, let me say this, one of the more controversial things that Marvel's done is make Iceman gay. Why? Some writer decided it was a funny little prank and decided to make him gay, and they decided.
I don't know if it was a prank. Maybe they thought it was a thoughtful way to do it. I disagree 100% with that decision, because that character was not gay as he was written for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it's like now you've actually hit where I'm going to go on my next point. It's, you don't need to say where is the gay actor. It's like, hey, Marvel, how about you guys actually make a character that is representative of the world today for your comic books and introduce them into a movie. That's a bigger statement versus saying, why doesn't a gay actor have a lead? It's like, like you said, like, we're not testing, hey, are you gay? It's like, that would actually be more annoying if I'm an actor. It's like, hey, are you gay? No, I'm auditioning for a role. Like, what are you asking about that for? It's like, I'm trying to, whatever you ask for in a casting call is what I'm trying to do, not what my sexual orientation is. That's just like, I want to throw this out there, act like I'm topical. Like, no, just build up a case on why you think that's something that should be happening. Not just
I have a real question for you. Do you guys think that Marvel Studios, a branch of a branch of Walt Disney, would have a LGBT character headline a movie, understanding there's probably going to be a section of their audience is not going to be down for that?
Yes.
I mean,
Disney
they have to at some point. Yeah. I mean, it took them this long to get black folks and a black director and black producers on their networks, ABC, and so then they finally figured out it was gangbusters. So I imagine it will take another 50 years, but sure. I mean, that's just their track record.
I mean, yeah, I think it'll take some years. Hey, for what it's worth, they weren't ready for a black sports center. You think they're gonna be ready for a gay? Yeah, I mean, come on now, baby steps.
Well, remember, Disney is actually about to introduce their first, I think, gay princess or gay. There's some inclusive cartoon actor going to be introduced. So it's not that far out of the realm for Disney to do, but it just has to make sense.
That's an auxiliary character in a larger entity, right? Mm-hmm. What we're talking about is the bankability of a gay character. Bankability. Yeah, main character, the bankability of that. And you got to remember, a cross-section of this country still don't like to get their news from a black person. They're not going to want to take their kids to see the movie featuring the gay character because you got people who will actually feel like their kid's gonna become gay from watching the movie because the character was gay.
True.
That's a big conversation. I mean, honestly, that's a big conversation for some people who really can't even stand to see, a black president. Like, so that would just be like, nah. It's like, wait, so he's somebody that looks like me and does this? Oh, they're just. I mean, that's a bigger conversation that some of these folks are like 50 years away from having.
I'm trying to pull up some other numbers, but what would you say the population of LGBT is in America, based 2%. Off the media? Huh?
2%.
Hey, based off the media, you'd say 38%.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd say 38% of the country's gay.
It is, according to this most recent poll back in May, 4.5.
Oh, it's more, because it used to be 2.
Okay. That's probably more people identifying.
More people, yeah, exactly. More people are like, hey, you know what? So that makes sense. I mean, the last stat I saw was like in 2016, so there's that.
So by 2055, the breakdown is expected to be 48% white, 24% Hispanic, 14% Asian, and 13% black. Now, my question for you fellas, why don't we see more actors championing more Asian films, more Hispanic films, more black films?
No black, no Hispanic, no black, Asian executives in
no. I mean, but
the decision-making process. I mean, there just aren't as many.
Jon Snow is not a executive. He's just a regular actor who's saying, "Hey, Marvel, why hasn't a gay actor started in a Marvel movie?" But that's 3.
Answering your question.
4.5%.
Just answering your question.
Go ahead, Chief.
Nah, well, this is the thing, right? So, over in Japan, China, wherever, Mexico, they have their own movies, they have their own actors, right? So they go see American movies, but they have their own movies that they see from their own people. See, we are Americans, we're not Africans. So, like, if you go to an African braiding shop, they're watching movies from Africa.
Nollywood all day.
Nollywood, exactly.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this. We don't have a base to go through for our movies as blacks. So we watch whatever American movies come out. Chinese, Asians, Koreans, whatever. They've got their own country with their own superstars, with their own movie guys. So they have a base already to pull from where they don't have to complain because they have a true home to go from, where they came from, where they have their own movies. So it's no sense to cry over the representation of American movies because they have their own base and their own movie stars. Like, every once in a while you'll hear like one of their singers dies from something, but you've never heard of them here. But over in Korea, they were crazy, they were crazy big or whatever because they have their own superstars over there. You know what I mean? So they don't have to complain here in the U.S. because they have their own culture to run to for their movies. And that's something that we as Black Americans, we can't run to anything like that. We don't have a place to go to for Black American movies per se. So that's why they're cool. Like, if you go to, the Mexicans, they have their own movie stars and their own movies. Asians, Indians, they have their own people, their own movies that that represent their culture. You know what I mean? And what American movie would really represent their culture to their standards. When they want to see a Korean movie, right, and the realism, the realism for them, it's from over there. It's not here. So,
because the sad part about that, Chief, not to cut you off, to a degree, a lot of folks, a lot of minorities are still represented in caricatures and stereotypes of who they actually are as people. The Indian, if you're an Indian in a movie or TV show in America, you still got to talk with the heavy, oversaturated Indian accent. If you're a Latino, you got to be extra Latino. You know what I mean? You got to be the Hollywood version of whatever the expected stereotype is.
And the funny thing, y'all was talking about the gays being represented in the movies more, right? But here's the thing about that too. I don't know if you guys, we just had a conversation about the token black guy. Remember the '90s movie, the all-white cast.
Not even '90s. You ain't gotta go '90s. '80s. I know exactly where you're going with this. '80s. Hollywood. A mannequin.
The token black guy. And we hate token black guy. Like, we used to clown that dude.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We see him in the movies, we start laughing. Oh, here he is. You know what I mean? Would as a gay person, would you be with the token gay guy? Like,
listen, do you not remember Mannequin, where they get a twofer?
The token
Hollywood, who was he was a Hollywood. He was super flaming. You know what I mean? Where it's like, what? Like, yo, if I were gay, I'd be pissed off just by thinking about that character. And then and then you got the token black dude who's like, yeah, I'm black and gay. Here we go. And how many times have they done that, by the way? Not that it was like the only black representation, because we don't have that, that didn't have that much at that time, was gay. You know what I mean? And you were just like, wait a minute. Do we, are we just throwing this at us too, or what's going on?
They're still doing that in movies now, man. I was watching this movie on Netflix, and the only black dude happened to be gay. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, it was a high school thing, and I'm like, dude, there are other people here. I mean, there were several like white guys who could have been the gay guy, and it would have been whatever. But the one black dude, that was the only thing I didn't like about the movie. Yeah. What's up, Javon?
Tell me this. He couldn't just be gay. He had to be super. He couldn't just be gay, right? He had to be super gay.
I think now
I think that was the issue, right? Yeah, he had to be the stereotype of both.
He was
like, come on.
Super flamboyant. He was like the new age cool gay guy. But the thing is like,
okay,
I don't like the double dipping, because I feel like there's still such a huge chasm of representation in these films. And I know they're black gay people, they're Asian gay people, they're Latino gay people. But if that's the only person in the movie is the check off two boxes character, I don't like that. Because, I mean, it's like, you've got 20 white guys. Any of them could be the one gay person that you're not going to develop anyway. So why define the black?
It's not like they develop it anyway. I think, we were talking about, did we have an episode about the token black, like the tokenness of token black? Did I miss that one?
Yeah.
No, we were talking about it. We never did that show.
We haven't done that yet.
Okay. Well, I won't go there, but at the same time, I want to, you just reminded me of one. Remember, it wasn't Can't Hardly Wait. It was like the one with Heath Ledger and The Taming of the Shrew.
And
that one. And Usher was like
10 Things I Hate About You.
No.
10 Things. It was the one that Usher in it. So it was.
That was She's All That.
Together, right?
She's All That.
Yeah, She's All That. Thank you.
She's All
that one. I'm sorry, not The Taming of the Shrew. I'm sorry. But yeah, well, actually, anyway.
No, it was based off of that. But they actually had black people in that movie that were black. You know, they just happened to be black. Usher was the dancing DJ, but they had Little Kim, Gabrielle Union, and what's my man from Sight? He was in there, and they were just regular people who were black. But Usher was all like bopping and weaving, topping his hat off.
That was his only role. He was the DJ, but they advertised
that dance in
that joint. Yeah. Do that dance we do. But at least they had other ones, so I can't really knock it. You're right. Unfortunately, I don't even remember. I remember Gabrielle Union was in it, but Usher was like, come on, man. Like, you can do better.
He was Bojangles, man.
Well, at the time, Usher was not a big star. That was like his first foray into movies. So I understand he wanted to stick into his comfort zone, not try to go too far. So I get why they did that. He was a bit of stunt cast. Let's not try to make him act. We've got Paul Walker and our boy Freddie Prinze for that, so we don't need that.
That's what it was. Freddie Prinze Jr. I couldn't remember that band's name.
Yeah. Anyway, so
the girl from that movie.
We just got all over on that one. So let me go on to my other topic that I actually wanted to have more discussion about. Fellas, I watched The Predator yesterday, and I'd want each of you to come up with a word that you would not associate with a Predator movie. Let's start with you, Chief.
Love?
All right, Gunner.
Right. I was gonna be like romantic.
Okay. Javon.
Good. Watchable.
Wait a second, man. I'll come back to you in a second. But Jace, you first.
I'm gonna go with boring.
All right. Let me first address Javon because no, man, the first one is 80s glorious, ridiculous, little plot, heavy action. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the ultimate man's man. We got Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers. I mean, it is some alpha males getting chopped
Bill
up.
Duke in that joint too.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Bill Duke, how can I forget him? So
Bill Duke is in there. Hey, man, what's my man Billy Bear from 48 Hours? Sonny Lanham, he was in it.
yeah,
So
I mean, so
the
that
first
movie
one was
is
gravy.
super
The first, you don't need to
watchable.
make it again.
Well, see,
Yeah,
I was
not the
watching.
second. That's what I'm talking
I was
about.
watching. Oh no! I was talking about like the whole franchise, just in general. And
Oh,
the
God,
one with
okay.
Adrian Brody, that was pretty good too. I mean, it wasn't like a classic movie, but it was more than serviceable, and I liked it.
It's watchable.
Yeah. So this one, that word that I was hoping y'all would think that, hey, this is not something I associate with a Predator movie. Funny. This movie had way too much comedy. It was trying too hard to be a funny movie about that just so happened to involve Predator.
Sounds like a bad formula.
That
terrible
that
one.
kills it.
Yo,
Yeah.
I saw a piece of that when I was watching the commercial when they were talking about what they were going to name the Predator.
Yeah.
I said, that's a funny moment. I said, and I thought to myself, I said, that's kind of like a humorous moment there. I said, usually they don't have that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's just that ironic humor, but this one is trying to be like the hangover of action movies, where it's like, look,
Hey, dude.
this ain't necessary right here. We need to have these jokers trying to take aim at head, making some headshots, trying not to get decapitated. But this film, there is actually a scene. I am spoiling it for you guys right here. There's a scene where the Predator jumps into an army jeep, and he's just slicing arms and heads. And then the guy who's driving, oblivious to it all, goes, "Hey, is everything okay?" The Predator pulls out one of the arms, puts the thumb up, so it can be like, "Hey, everything's okay."
Nah, B, I'm done with this movie already. That's just no.
That I mean, look.
I'll go watch the Danny Glover joint again before I watch that. Nope.
You ain't lying,
Nope.
and that was terrible.
Nope.
That was terrible. I mean,
So
look.
this Predator has lived on Earth for a while then?
Nah. I mean,
I was like one of them
Live it
been
off
here
of
to
sitcom.
Schwarzenegger or something. Like, what happened?
you know, I mean, the weird thing was some of the jokes are funny, but I'm like, I did not come to a Predator movie to laugh. I wanted to see some cool action. And
It's like going.
yeah,
Oh,
man.
man.
It's all wrong. It's totally tone deaf. So this may enlighten you guys a bit more. The director for this film is Shane Black. And if you know the film that Shane Black did that I loathe the most, you would understand exactly the kind of movie we're into. If you don't know, the movie he directed that I hate the most is Iron Man 3. Because it took a superhero movie and made it into a buddy action comedy. And I'm like, dude, do any other movie. Do 84 Hours. You don't need to change Iron Man to a buddy comedy. So he's like on this kick where he's like, I need to change the Predator format to be what I want it to be. I want to make a lot of jokes, have some crazy humor, and have some weird statements about people in the Army with PTSD, folks with Tourette's syndrome, and Asperger's. So he covers so many offensive things. And it's amazing that the 20th Century Fox lawyers and editors weren't like, whoa, you can't say that.
What, on Fox? Please.
Wait, this is 24th Century Fox or 20th Century Fox?
20th Century Fox, yeah.
20th Century.
So aren't they? No, they don't do that anymore, right? Disney owns them now. I was just like, wait a minute, that was old school Star Wars. But it seems like people are just uprooting canons and whatnot. You know, I mean, the formula that has always worked, and which is like stupid. I don't even understand. I mean, I'm not saying go full Terminator, which is like, okay, you're beating a dead horse here, but maybe you're beating a dead horse for Predator. Quite frankly,
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, Gunnar, this is what we're paying for. We're not paying for the Predator meets The Hangover. I don't want to see that. It's like if you go to Hellraiser and it turns out to be a love story. I don't want to see Pinhead falling in love. Rip somebody's flesh off in here. Give me the Cenobites and all that. That's what I want to see. When you take the Predators, and like when I saw the trailer, I saw Sterling K. Brown, who always looks like, to me, he's taken a Valium and had a drink. I don't get it. I don't get it with Sterling K. Brown. It's excitement. Perk up a little bit, buddy. Him, when I saw Keegan-Michael Key in it, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
I remember we talked about summer movies, and I said that he was in it, and that was the point where most of y'all checked out and were like, nah, I'm good on this one. Yep. And man, y'all were 100% right. I could not look at any scene he was in and buy into him shooting anything like he's going to hit it. I'm like, man, what is he doing in this? This isn't a skit. This is part of the movie. Okay. But man, yeah, I didn't like it.
He's like the wrong comedian to do an action flick like that, right? Like, like I'm sure back in the day, if there was social media, like we would have heard flack about Damon Wayans and the Mo Money in twist of it, and then whatever other movies he was in,
But here's the thing, guys.
Last Boy Scout, all that.
But here's the thing: those two guys did action movies where they were the comic foil, but they still had serious moments, right? They still were able to have a serious moment. I don't think that. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He's not the one. Keegan-Michael Key is not the one for that.
That dude is the Dave Chappelle replacement. Like, I mean, seriously, he's one half. He's one half of the Dave Chappelle replacement. One half of the Dave Chappelle replacement.
Oh,
and you see your other boy. I mean, they did a Saturday Night Live thing, like when what's his name? Chris Farley died, and David Spade just kind of was slandering around doing whack shit. Like, seriously. So same thing with Dana Carvey. Like, we ain't seen Dana Carvey since Saturday Night Live anniversary joint. Like, come on, man. Like, exactly. But you've seen his co-partner, Wayne. You've seen him everywhere. That dude reinvented another character. Like, now no one remembers Wayne anymore. Everybody remembers what's his name. What's the stupid.
Shrek, take your pick, Shrek or Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, really. But yeah, that's right. He's Shrek too. But people forget about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, definitely Austin Powers. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. And then he went in. Mike Myers went into Inglourious Basterds and just played like a random role. Again, Dana Carvey has been gone for life. Like, so I feel like this is like Michael Keaton and Michael Key's like last key. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, done, dude. You better I think the last time I saw him was on like House of Lies, like, and he was playing a white dude playing a black dude. Like, if that's not the low point of your career. Seriously, that's literally who the character was. So I'm like, I mean, your career's done, dude. Your career's done. That's it. End of story.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Jordan Peele out here nominated for Oscars and stuff.
Winning Oscars. I mean,
come on, man.
On to the next projects, big time stuff.
People lining up to work with him.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah.
In the whack Predator movie, he can even say, man, I was in Predator.
Nah,
he was kind of young. He was kind of young for Predator.
Like, no, you wasn't.
Yeah. So it was not a good movie. And then to make things even worse, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Olivia Munn has been in headline after headline because she went to 20th Century Fox after finding out that one of Shane Black's friends, who was a registered sex offender, had a role in the film. And, this dude's like all up in the pedophile camp. And she's like, whoa, I did a scene with him. I don't want that scene in the movie. And she felt that none of her male co-stars they had her back, and she was like on an island basically, and the 20th Century Fox was trying to sweep it under the rug and hey, we deleted the scene, stop causing controversy with this, it's done. I'm just curious what you guys think about this, because I feel like, yeah, if a dude's a sex offender and your movie has a kid like this one does, maybe everyone should know about that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, and we keep going back to this is a male-dominated industry. As you can obviously see, this was a guy putting his buddy in a movie. And I'm not saying that's okay, but that's what it is. And why are we shocked? This continues to happen, even in the face of the Me Too movement. It continues to happen, and it's going to. It's a male-dominated industry, and people are doing favors for each other all the time. And the reason why her co-stars, and she probably feels like she didn't have the support of them, is because they playing the game too. Hey, these guys are trying to eat, and it's unfortunate you got to play the game sometimes, but that's the game that you in. Shane Black carries some weight. He may have a project that he's getting ready to start working on in a few, and hey, they may want a phone call. They may know they got to work with him soon, or they want to keep working for this studio, or they have a contract to make films with this studio, 5-film production or whatever, 5-film contract with this studio. They got to play ball. It's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast that they're in.
Black seems like he's on his way for a long vacation, let's say, because they have not had him available to do any press since this news broke. So I think they're going, okay, Shane, we may have to end our ties with you over this deal, because initially he was like, well, I believe in second chances. Then later on he was like, well, my friend lied to me, basically. Try to throw his friend under the bus, try to keep himself going. Jace, what do you think about all this?
Okay, that's like one of those no excuses. You should have, like, before you allow somebody to come on your set, you should have done a background check on them. You don't know what the heck they are. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that goes on a set you want to keep under wraps, but you don't let somebody with that kind of pass. It's like, no, they gotta go. It's like, so you don't get to play nice. To me, that's the situation where I'd break tie with the director with no problem. Like, oh, you brought this guy in? Yeah, you knew about that. It's like, there's no way around it. You knew about that. You put him on our set. We're done with you. Like, we are no longer in the Shane Black business. Like, you're not here. So that they should have fired him. If it wasn't for the fact that the movie was already made, I'd have fired him for that. But for Olivia and Mom, no. They should have, that's kind of like, why wouldn't you? That's an easy stand up. Like, yeah, get this dude out of here. Like, I'm not saying that they have to be gung ho about it, but it's like, screw this guy. He's not going to be around. Like, you brought your dude who's a sex offender? No, man, I'm not comfortable with this dude here. Go. Like, you should have known not to put me in this situation. Like, you shouldn't have put anybody in here. Like, if he's a pedophile, sex offender, like, no, he's out of here. It's like, yeah. So they should have actually been like, no, she's right. Let's get him out of here. Like, so that's on them for not actually standing up for what was right.
Gunner, you have something on that?
What else can she do but bitch about it now? Like Yvonne said, she gotta eat. They gotta eat. So I'm sure. I'm not convinced she didn't know all of a sudden she didn't know. Like, I feel like everybody has rumors on set. You got rumors in your newsroom. You got rumors at your workplace. You got rumors going on, right? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I don't believe any of that. I'm just happy she's throwing it out there, whether she knew or not. You know what I mean? I just don't think I just don't think that was a big secret. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff don't stay a secret. I don't care what industry you're in. Like, yo, that dude's watching porn on his desk in his office. That dude's the porn dude for like 30 years or whenever they retire, right? Or whenever they leave the workplace. You know what I mean? That dude fucking screws interns, That dude screws interns. That dude is going to be, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah,
that's the label that they
years
put
will
on.
pass and you'll still be that guy.
he'll still be that guy. So it's not like I don't believe anybody didn't know. I mean, I kind of don't believe she didn't know, but I'm glad she's throwing light on it nevertheless. Then my man Shane's like, oh, well, I got to throw him under the bus now, even though I was trying to be cool. Look, that couldn't have happened to a worse movie producer or whatever the hell he is, movie maker. I'm good. Like, I can live my entire life without a Shane Black movie. Real life, real talk.
All right, so I got to talk about Olivia Munn. I definitely do not think that she knew about it because I've watched a couple of interviews and she is not acting and she seems really emotional about everything and how it's gone down. Like she really just wanted, I think she was kind of like how Jace was, why in the world is this an issue? This dude shouldn't be on our set. We should at the very least know about his past. I mean, I've worked in offices and with companies, and I don't know anybody's background outside of what they tell me because I don't care to do a background check. I mean, it's like, all right, I assume that the company who hired you would make sure you're a decent enough person to work with me. So to find out something, I'd be like, whoa. And not to say that every company is doing their due diligence or whatever, but once you find out about it, I'm sure it's like, whoa, we got to get this dude out of here.
We talking about a white dude, right? Okay, I was just checking. No, let me.
We're talking about Hollywood too, right? We're talking about Hollywood too, right?
Yeah, drop the mic.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting circumstance and situation, and I hope that whole deal gets resolved. The way it seems right now, Predator is going to be the #1 box office movie this weekend, even though it's crummy. And I hope
it's a storm. It's a slow weekend. There's a storm blowing off the East Coast. Ain't nobody going to see no movies. That's why.
Go back to see Crazy Rich Asians. It's a better use of your time and money. All right, so let's get on to our big topic for the day. This is one that I have wanted to discuss with you guys for a very long time. When I was growing up and I really started getting into movies, one of my big favorites was The Godfather 1 and 2. And Al Pacino blew me away in the first one. I watched Scarface for the first time not long after that and was like, wow, this guy is amazing. He can't do wrong in any movie. And then Godfather 3 was okay-ish, but he was good in it. Then he was in other films, and I was like, wow, he just won't ever not make a good movie. And when he did Heat with Robert De Niro, I was like, this is everything because it's the two best actors, my two favorites in a movie paired off against each other. And it was everything that I wanted, and he was awesome. And then somewhere along the way, I don't quite remember what movie, maybe it was The Recruit, his next film with De Niro, where it was like, man, Al Pacino, I think, is starting to go through the motions now. And he doesn't have that same fire, the passion that made him such a great actor to me. And then I was like, you know what? Robert De Niro's not as good either. And I think it was right around that second Meet the Fockers, or Meet the Fockers, where I was like, wow, Robert De Niro's just in it for a paycheck. So today, fellas, I want to talk to you all about those actors who make you want to spend your hard-earned money or 2 precious hours of your time to watch them in kind of pretty much anything. And then I want to discuss the moment where there was an actor that you really liked and when you realized that they were no longer that same actor and you could not trust them or their movies any longer. So let's start off with Chief. What you got?
Well, you know, I don't have a favorite actor anymore, Jeff. You know, I was thinking about this thing, you know, my actors or, you know, things of that nature where I saw an actor go downhill. I used to be a big Seymour Hoffman fan. I used to love his movies, you know what I mean? Like, even from, like, Along Came Polly, when he did the whole Hollywood story joint. And then he got into the room and he was like, and every time I see that movie, I wait for that part, actually. And, you know, Dead. Heroin overdose. I used to think Chris Farley movies was hilarious. Dead. Heroin overdose. Heath Ledger. You know, after that Batman thing, I couldn't wait for his next movie. You know what I mean? You know, dead. Drug overdose. The people that I really get into, you know, like for example, rock movies. You go see The Rock nowadays, all his movies are saturated now. You get too much exposure. Will Smith used to have the summer movie. You know, every summer you knew he was coming with a banger. You know, not so much anymore. So
You didn't like After Earth?
nah, no, I did not. I did not. So my favorite actors, I don't have a favorite anymore. If I go see, you know, to be honest with you, the majority of my movies nowadays are Marvel, and an occasional horror movie maybe, and an occasional action movie. You know what I mean? But actors, man, they just disappoint the hell out of you. They're just people in general. When you go, I find that when I start liking a particular person, they'll do something that's just either their movies will start to become like they'll come out with a movie every 10 days, and the movies, the quality of the movies come down. Like this new what's the short guy, Kevin Hart. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to go see this movie with him and Tiffany Haddish. Like, that joint doesn't even look funny to me. Like, even, when they're showing the trailer, I'm like, that doesn't really look funny. So, for me, I can't say, and your examples of Robert Duvall and
De Niro. But Duvall.
De Niro. I get where you're coming from, but I don't even have a favorite. Like, even Denzel. Used to go see a Denzel movie, like the last 3 of Denzel's movies before The Equalizer, like with S.J. Esquire. I never watched that movie. It's just getting out the phase now. I'm just getting out of that whole actor. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite movie. I don't have a favorite rapper anymore. Nothing's my favorite anymore. So it is what it is.
I hear you. All right, Gunner, let's hear from you.
Mine's real easy. I mean, I'm with Chief in a way because I never really had a favorite anything because I liked a lot of things, right? Especially favorite actor. But if there was an Eddie Murphy movie, like even my parents, I'm like, however old I was when Coming to America came out, watching movies come out the pool at 5 years old, they were like, "We can't even cover your eyes. It's too late." Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would just be like, "Yo, we're going to Eddie Murphy movie. You will see Eddie Murphy. You will see this black actor doing his thing." So, I mean, you got Golden Child. I was too young for that, but I watched it later. You know what I mean? Like, you just got so many. What is it? What am I thinking of? All the Beverly Hills Cops except for 3, and I'll get to that in a second. 48 Hours is the one I was thinking of. Trading Places was kind of phenomenal because it was like, I mean, that social commentary actually works today. I actually rewatched that like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, I can dig it. Then, I think his peak for me was Boomerang. I mean, even, the flack he was getting from Hollywood where it was just like, why couldn't we have black people, he was like, why didn't have any white people in it? And he was just like, his answer was quite eloquent. I invite you to go find that Jay Leno clip when he was on Jay Leno. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously Coming to America, we already knew that. But then you had some spurts here. Like Dr. Dolittle was cool. He was awesome in Dreamgirls here and there. Shrek, of course. Nutty Professor 2, which, actually that wasn't terrible, right? Then he starts playing these stupid token roles. Tower Heist? was the worst role I think he ever really played next to Metro. I'm missing one. Oh, the big, huge. Oh, there's two big, huge ones. After Meet Dave. Hold on. After Meet Dave, and I'm sorry, I skipped a really good one, Harlem Nights. Sorry. But anyways, after Meet Dave and Norbit, I was pretty much done with Eddie Murphy movies. Now you'd have to prove yourself like everyone else. Pluto Nash, like, come on, man. Like, he went through a slew of crap movies from like 2002 to like now.
Pluto Nash really did it for me. That was when I was like, okay, I can't trust this dude anymore.
Oh, you Meet Dave didn't do it for you? Norbit didn't do it?
No, because Norbit was
Dave.
way later. Pluto Nash was 2002. Norbit came out right after Dreamgirls, and it like sunk his Best Supporting Actor chances because it was trash.
It really did.
But man, Pluto Nash was the one where I was like, yo, I hate to say it, but I can't trust Eddie Murphy anymore. And
I hated that. I hated that. But he started playing it after the dude who made Boomerang of all movies.
Right.
Like, here are all the black execs, this is black companies, this is what this is what's happening in the 90s. You know what I mean? Dude that did Harlem Nights with, like, Richard Pryor, man. I mean, that was awesome. No, freaking Meet the Clumps. I'll take Meet the Clumps. Like, that shit's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny. Beverly Hills Cop 3 started a downward spiral, honestly. But
hey, 3 boo-boo.
3 was like, I must try to do something. Man, people give us flack for this one, but Vampire in Brooklyn was actually a quality-ass horror movie.
What?
The end. That joint was hilarious.
All right. You have hit the All-Star Superman.
No, there's no way.
Nope, you're done.
All-Star Superman is horrible.
Nope, you're done. You're off.
Oh, Vampire in Brooklyn.
You're off your rocker.
A black vampire, and you got to there was some history about, where about the islands and the Caribbean and all that shit, man. I mean, it's great.
I'm blaming that on sleep deprived Gunner. That's hey man, it happens with the best of us, man. Don't worry about it. We're gonna ride that, and it never happened.
Empire in Brooklyn was still a better movie than freaking Norbit and freaking.
It was definitely better than Norbit.
All right, well, you had that was a stretch where Eddie gave you Vampire in Brooklyn, Cop 3, Metro, Holy Man.
Bowfinger.
Oh, I forgot about Holy Man. Oh my God, that was a horrible movie. Someone dared me to watch Holy Man. Was it on this podcast or elsewhere?
Oh,
I don't know.
We wouldn't have done that. No.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Somebody out here, another movie buff in our crew, in our wide circle here, was like, I dare you to watch this movie. It was actually on randomly, so I watched it, and I was like, what the hell? I am so glad I missed this crap. It like literally didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. It was just there. Like, I mean, you can't even describe it. This movie was terrible. It was such a waste of how much they spent. Thank God they got the Shrek money coming in, man.
Right. That's good money. You can get it. All right, Jace, what's your choices?
Okay. Which one you want to go with? The guys who can get us there to the movies, or who is all right? It's looking dicey now.
You can do both.
Okay. All right. So the guy. I'm going to go with two of them, and they're both comedy guys. In the 90s, Ben Stiller was on a roll like you couldn't. I mean, he couldn't miss. I mean, he gave you Something About Mary. He gave you like it was like one of those like Ben Stiller's in it. You're good. You're gonna laugh at it. He might not be the best part, but he's a really good director, so he'll have everybody else in this thing going really good. But then I'm one of those people. Maybe I saw Meet the Fuckers way too many times at the video store, but I didn't like that movie. And I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. And then he came out with
What movie was that, Jason?
Meet the Fuckers.
Okay.
Am I not saying it right? Because if I'm not,
you didn't say the PG friendly version.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. Please edit that out. I was like, fuck. Okay, Fuckers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But emphasize the O.
Fuckers. Okay. I didn't particularly like that or the second one. And then what was it? Night in the Museum. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, you think they're gonna make a sequel to that one? I'm one of those folks. I love Tropic Thunder. I thought that was hilarious. But I mean, again, he wasn't the best part of it, but the rest of the cast was like really funny on that. So I was like, I'm not. And then Zoolander 2 is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for the reviews to come up on Ben Stiller movies. The next one is another guy was in a can't miss phase in the 90s. I mean, Adam Sandler was just bankable. And then I couldn't even tell you exactly when it happened. Because I'm like the movie where he was the stepdad. I like that. But there came
the last good one. Big Daddy was the last good
Big
one.
Daddy, yeah. Like Big Daddy, I was good. I was like, yeah, this is good. But then after that, he just started to stretch his movies. It was just like, nah, man, just you're doing too much. And like I like Grown Up. I mean, I laughed at Grown Ups. I'm not gonna say that I didn't like it. And I like Grown Ups too. I mean, I'm also in that minority that actually found that movie funny. I remember Jeff took a lot of heat for thinking that was funny or thinking that was a good movie.
And then funny. It was like, it made me laugh. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Unlike The Predator, which I laughed, and I'm not supposed to.
Exactly.
Those were terrible. Those were terrible.
I mean, I'm not going to defend them, Gunner. I mean, I laughed. I'm not suggesting that these were high-quality films. They made me laugh. That's all I need a film that's supposed to be a comedy to do. And I know comedy, like a lot of things, is far more subjective than, say, a drama or a musical, where it's very obvious if a person can't sing. But, your levels of comedy are up for debate. Like, you thinking Vampire in Brooklyn is good. Totally up for debate.
But I think we can all agree that Adam Sandler playing his twin sister,
terrible,
the same movie,
that's a bad call.
Probably a bad call in the end of your career.
Pretty much. I was gonna say like
the point where you had to run back to one of your old co-stars to star in a movie that was straight to DVD. Oh my God!
I was gonna say like I watched the one on Netflix. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you this the benefit of the doubt, Adam. I got 2 hours. I was like, all right, I'm waiting for this to get really funny, and it just never happened. And I'm just like,
it did not. What?
This is on me because I mean, even though I know this, I'm not paying money for this specifically, but it's like I probably should have figured it out on something else I hadn't seen it, and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna choose to wait for somebody to tell me this is phenomenal, but it didn't happen. So he definitely went on the list of people I don't trust. Can't guarantee to get some money to. What were you about to say, Gunnar?
There's one on Netflix.
The Week of Chris Rock. It's so. I mean, it's one of those movies you'd have to be sick to stay watching it on Netflix. Like you just couldn't reach the remote, you couldn't grab the controller, and you just couldn't move. And it's like, wow, okay. The only things that were moving are your eyes.
It's like, I mean, there's like one
Chris Rock
scene.
Keeps doing Adam Sandler a favor by being around it, man. I mean, come on, man.
Chris Rock was trying on that. I mean, he was trying. He was like, all right, we're going to get to this next scene, and it's going to be hilarious. I mean, like, they had a scene in the movie where it's like the uncle is an amputee, and you're just like, I don't want to laugh, but I'm sure y'all going to make something that's funny. And then they don't. And it's like, so y'all just threw this random guy in here, and then you're trying to do something, and it's like, you're trying to make a joke, but it's not funny. And it's just like, this is not working. I mean, it's just like, you're really just like, oh, man, this is, all right, I'm sure the wedding's going to be this big payoff. No, it wasn't. And then your credit's like, huh.
There was absolutely no payoff for this time invested.
Nah, it really wasn't. So I'm going to go with my list of folks that actually can get me to the movies, because that's much more positive.
All right.
Hey, and everybody might talk about the guy for his religious beliefs, but I'm not going to lie. If Tom Cruise makes a movie, I'm there. That dude has made, I mean, it's like, as much as it's like I talked about Tropic Thunder. He's the star of that movie, like, bar none.
Robert Downey Jr.
They both take it on that one. The Mission Impossibles, Night or Day, which I think is like hilarious send-off of Mission Impossible. That one, I mean, just you got a lot of me for him. Then the next one, Denzel. I know exactly what kind of Denzel movie I would actually like to see. So I don't feel like he would burn me if I'm like, I don't want to see Roman J. Esquire. Because that's not what I don't need to see anything about any more lawyers or doctors. I'm good on that. So I can easily pass on that.
That was such a good movie, though, actually. It said something.
Okay. Well, again, I can be drawn in, but I'm not going to pay money to go see it. So I can.
Oh, no, I saw it on HBO I already paid for that.
Yeah, like book of what was the book of
Eli?
Book of Eli. I knew as soon as I saw that. I'm like, I'm in. It's like I saw Magnificent Seven. I'm like, in real quick. So if I see the kind of movie, I'm in. The other one, the actual new person, is Jennifer Lawrence. It was like, what's the one I saw? Oh, X-Men. I think that's where I came in. So when she was in X-Men, I'm like, oh, okay. She's a good actress. And then it's like after that, then I went and saw Hunger Games. I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed his movies. And then I saw American Hustle. It was like, okay, I'm pretty sure she kind of knows which roles to take, and it's a good barometer that I can watch. If it seems like a movie I would be interested in, I will watch. Like I heard people say Joy was good. It's like I didn't want to see that, but I'm sure it probably is good. I don't want to see like a documentary on that. But most times I know it's like, oh, she's in something. I can probably trust my money is not going to be is going to be well spent. Now, of course, there are the occasional passengers that you kind of like, ooh, I was really hoping that would be better, but everybody's allowed a mulligan. Yeah, but yeah, that's my big list.
I love how you skipped over like the countless Tom Cruise stinkers, though.
He really did. Which
one?
I'm sitting here like there's like 3 that just jumped in my head immediately.
Yeah. Okay, like all right, I liked Interview with a Vampire.
We're not talking about bad movies.
Okay, which bad movies are talking? Because I could be skipping on.
Vanilla
Cocktail.
Okay.
Vanilla
Sky may have spoke to me too.
The Mummy.
Okay.
Rock of Ages.
Oh God.
Those are movies. Listen.
War of the Worlds. I know
War of the Worlds was horrible.
You know what? He's actually
which one was that?
No,
okay.
The old one from the H.G. It's an update of the H.G. Wells novel. He's a modern day Nicolas Cage because he will have an awesome movie and follow it up with a crappy one. And I actually have him on my list of one of those dudes who before he could miss. Now it's like, I need to see that trailer.
I have to disagree. He's not that bad. He's not as bad as Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage will do one big one and take like 5 steps back. Like
wait.
Tom Cruise does one and one and one and one.
He's in the middle of a resurgence again.
Sorry. But listen, I saw Nicolas Cage's new movie, Mandy. It's coming to theaters on Friday. This movie is like 2 hours. And for that first hour, I'm like, wow, what have I done with my life? I'm making poor decisions, bad choices all around. Then all of a sudden, the movie becomes this amazing spectacle. I mean, I can't tell you how much I hated the first hour. It was like, it felt like watching Under the Skin for an hour. Where nothing happened. And then, but the second hour, it's like everybody woke up and realized they needed to make a good movie all of a sudden. So Nicolas Cage, his girlfriend or wife gets kidnapped by a religious cult, and they leave him for dead. And the Joker is trying to figure out what happened to her. He goes into a bathroom, and he just starts Nicolas Caging the Nicolas Cage out. And that's when the moment, it's like, if you could watch a movie flip the switch, that's the moment the movie flips the switch. And then the Joker is fighting aliens with like shards and sticks coming out of him. He's like taking a gun. Oh my gosh!
Look at the trailer.
Oh my gosh! Yo,
good. I don't even want to. How did this even get past the pitch room, man?
No. It sounds terrible. I mean, the first hour is awful. It is a mess. But that second hour, oh my gosh, it's a crazy movie. It's like amazing. It is. I feel like I've watched 25 Nicolas Cage movies. This was the
Who made
movie
it?
that Nicolas
Universal,
Cage,
Fox. Who made it?
Annapurna. It's
Yeah.
like
No, like the company.
That's what I'm saying.
Gunner.
Annapurna Productions. It's like a lower.
Yeah, but who they own? But who the distributor?
I have no idea.
I want to know if it's
Gunner.
going to be on Netflix or just HBO, so I can just wait for them because I'm not paying money to see this crap.
I don't even know if it's
Don't
going
care
to
what
be
you
theaters
say.
like that.
Hmm?
But Gunner, they have chainsaw fights. Like one dude is taking like the kind that you use to slice up a tree, and Nicolas Cage has the other one that you're using to slice up a piece of wood from said tree, and they're just dueling around fire. Like this
Doesn't
movie
sound right, man.
No, man, it's not right at all. It's amazing. It's just Nicolas Cage getting the chance to be Nicolas Cage for the one time in his life. It's like, wow. I don't think I've ever seen a movie better suited for an actor. I mean,
I was going to say, that sounds like the most Nicolas Cage movie ever.
Ever. He should just stop. And the crazy thing about Nicolas Cage is the dude never stops working. I was looking on IMDb to see like his most recent films. He had like 20
Another
films
movie coming out
coming
like
after
tonight.
You do.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you this, Jeff. Does he yell a lot in this movie?
Javon, I said it's Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Caging the Nicolas Cage.
Okay, all right. Never.
Did he say "we" as he wields the chainsaw? Wee.
I don't know if he does, man, but he's like cutting heads off. He's got the bug eyes. There's one moment where
Oh my god! I don't think I would have.
there's one moment where he kills a dude, and the dude's like on top of him, right? So the blood is just gushing onto him, and I'm like, this is so unsanitary. But Nicolas Cage is just like he's got the Joker smile going, and his eyes are wide. Like, wow, only Nicolas Cage could do this scene and make it work at all. But the movie's ridiculous. I would highly suggest watching it. If you can, fast forward through the first hour because it's just trash. But the second hour is amazing. And honestly, if I were grading on a curve, it would be one of my favorites because this movie like finds the perfect niche for Nicolas Cage. And it's an experience.
Not going to do it, sir. Not going to do it. In some alternative universe, I might watch it. In that same alternative universe, the Death of Superman that he was supposed to be in probably got made and was in theaters.
See, but that movie would suck. Mandy.
I'm talking about the alternative universe where I can watch this godforsaken movie you're talking about.
No, it's not, man. It is not. It needs a little special place in your heart. Don't forsake it. All right, so that was that quick aside. Javon, what's up with you, man? What's your choices?
I'm like Chief Gunner and Jason. I mean, I agree with the sentiment that I don't have a favorite actor or actress. I like good movies, right? And I also recognize this. Everybody's gonna have anybody in that industry, man, is in any industry, really, anything. You're gonna have your up periods, you're gonna have your down periods, and chances are you're gonna be down for a lot longer than you up. Hey, just look at Nick Cage right now. This was a guy who was can't miss box office gold summertime movies. He had that stretch from 95 to 98 where if there was he was in a run with Will Smith, but every year he's gonna have a summer blockbuster. Now he's doing movies where he's just being a character of himself as an actor. But if there are any actresses who I've given up on when it comes to their projects, I'm with you with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, because for what it's worth, they've gotten old. These two guys in their 70s now. They haven't been getting, and that's the thing about it. I don't think it's so much that they don't care about the movies they make. It's just the movies they make they don't care about. The scripts are light, and there's not much there for them. And if I'm somebody like De Niro or Al Pacino, and you bring me the script for, I don't know, whatever Robert De Niro just starred in with the kid from High School Musical, I'm like,
oh, God.
Dude, I was in Taxi Driver. I was in The Godfather. I was a Raging Bull.
I've won Oscars. What are you doing?
I've won Oscars. This is Drek. I need a paycheck. All right, whatever. I'm taking it. If I'm Al Pacino, look, I'm Michael Corleone. I'm Serpico. I'm Dog Day Afternoon. I'm some of the finest films made in your lifetime. And I just had to do I was in Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. I was actually trying to date the Jill character, Adam Sandler, as his sister in that movie. Yes, I saw that movie. Yes, I saw it. And Al Pacino was in it trying to date his sister.
Hold on. Because, just the premise was bad. I saw the preview. I'm like, that's funny. I hope nobody sees this. The fact that Al Pacino's in that, now I'm with whoever said Al Pacino's lost it. I'm there with them now. They should be anywhere near Adam Sandler. What the hell? Because he's trying to pull like a Ben Stiller, De Niro got Ben Stiller, so I'm going to go over here with Adam Sandler. Oh,
yeah.
See, that's terrible. And it was, hey, look, I'm 70 years old. I need to check.
Right. Or not. I'm pretty sure they don't need a check.
No, I'm going to need you to say no, Al. Just tell USA to put the Godfather on loop.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, but they write the check. I'm not gonna say no. It's $6 million. It's $6 million, or whatever, however many million. It's $6 million. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna do this stupid movie, and that's it. You can't take Serpico off my resume. You can't take Dog Day Afternoon off my resume. It's just this is what I'm reduced to now, and I understand that better as I see my favorite actors from actors that I really respected their craft, whose best years are well behind them. As I see them take movies that are well below and beneath them, I kind of get it. I get it. It's like the old guy at the Costco who's checking off of your receipt when you walk out. Yeah, this guy may have owned his own business at some point in time, but either he really messed up his money, he wasn't that good with the books, or he just needs something to do. The stress of owning the business was too much for him, whatever. It's just, this is what he's doing now. And it's unfortunate, I guess, because given where he came from, but this is what he's got. I think that's kind of where they are. And it happens to everybody, man. It's just, I think there's certain actors that are very fortunate they don't have to get into that. Because truth be told, right, like, who we talking about, man, Anthony Hopkins. If you know Anthony Hopkins from the stage, like somebody who's watched Anthony Hopkins in London in stage productions thinks him playing Odin in Thor is well beneath him. Right? I can dig that. But, at the same time, it's how I earn a living. But the actors and actresses that I can no longer stand behind, given the history of duds. I mean, I see their movies, and it's not even them. It's the quality of the movies that they're doing. Those two guys, Al and Robert, Sam Jackson to a degree. Not that Sam Jackson was ever my favorite actor or anything to that degree. It's just I knew with Sam it was going to be entertaining. But Sam does so much. He's in so many movies that you'll look at, you'll see something on Netflix or anywhere, and see Sam Jackson, and you'll be like, damn, he was in that? When did that come out? Like, it's Sam Jackson. It'll be Sam Jackson, John Cusack. Right. The Netflix crew, the VOD crew, you'll see them be like, damn, when did that come out? Or you add Sam, you add Denzel's getting there. Will's there. Will's been there for a decade for me.
I mean, Will has
been there for a decade, yeah, at least. And that's a shame, man.
He tried to pass the torch to his son. It didn't work out. That joint didn't work out at all.
Burned them both.
It didn't work
after
out
Earth, after careers, after both careers.
After career, yeah.
After this.
It's like this.
And
that's the thing. I
watched
thought Lou Will.
I was telling Gunnar, I just watched Boomerang, so I'm all up in my afterbirth and whole loving the Black World experience. I mean,
that's you got to get nostalgic. I guess it's time that I don't know if we're touching on that part. Like, I guess we are. All of us are touching on that part. Where it's like, I guess it's time to get nostalgic about certain people. Like, yeah.
Do you remember when Eddie Murphy? All you had to do was say Eddie Murphy, and you was gonna pay the ticket cost. I don't care what it was. Eddie Murphy. All right, I'm there.
Him, Martin Lawrence. Let me see who else was on that.
Martin had a non-stop period too.
Never there for Martin.
Yeah. You were never there for Martin.
Because he a little.
You hated
me,
Martin. That's right. I forgot.
No, I didn't hate him. It's just for me, a little bit of Martin went a long way. He's like Kevin Hart. A little bit of him goes a long way for me. It's only so much of him I can take, and I never thought that like he in a movie or him doing stand up was that funny to begin with. And it's not a hate thing. It's just some people ain't your cup of tea, and he really never fully was my cup of tea. I thought that during his time, yeah, same with Chris Tucker. During his time, I thought Martin was as host of Def Jam, you couldn't ask for nobody better. It's just I wouldn't pay to hear an hour and a half of Martin's comedy. Like Gunner, I remember we was talking about that. Have you seen Martin's last televised comedy special on Showtime?
Yeah, it's terrible. It was absolutely
Dude, it was
terrible.
like, hey, y'all remember 1992?
Right.
Y'all remember Martin? Y'all remember Def Jam? Remember You Go Girl? I was like, oh my God. Just, it
why
felt
did
like
you should have just stepped on stage, put a VHS in of You So Crazy, and just walked off the stage.
Oh, remember this? Yeah. Seriously. Seriously.
Water was dripping all over. Yo, there we go. Done. End of story.
Done. Remember that? Yeah. Remember Talk Dirty at the Dock? That was me. Yeah, it was like, come on, man, dude. It felt like he was working, like, you know how comics go on the road and test out a routine, right?
Mm.
They're going to work on the kinks from audience to audience, right? So they got that tight hour together before they televise it or film it. Martin, it felt like Martin was working out after being off the road for 20 years, working out jokes, and they actually recorded it instead of the finished product. It was terrible.
All right, Javon. I know we kept interrupting you. How many more on your list?
All right, those are that's part of my that's the short version of the list that I can't get behind no more. The actresses that keep me coming to the theater, still Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has been in this, man. He still knows how to make a damn movie. Tom Cruise, and now he's doing most of his own stuff right through Bad Robot, through his own imprint. They make good movies. He makes good movies to me still. I like Hilary Swank, man. I like Meryl Streep. Angela Bassett could be in anything. If Angela Bassett had a commercial out right now, I would DVR the commercial.
Angela Bassett was in Vampire in Brooklyn, by the way. Just saying.
She was.
Okay. Siobhan, are you watching 911 on Fox?
Yeah, I am, because Angela Bassett.
Okay.
Every time she's on the screen, man, she's one of the actresses that whatever character she is, she's not guilty of the sin of playing herself as everyone. There's elements of her in every character that she plays, but overall, she does just what a great actress does. They get into the mind of the character that they're playing. They become that person, and they put touches of themselves in that character. They're not just playing the role. That's a piece to them. They leaving in that character. That's why to me, anytime she's been on screen like that, she just leaves such an impression because it's not just that's a person. That's not just somebody playing a role. That's a person right there. Her, Meryl Streep, De Niro, Lawrence Fishburne has that quality. Denzel has that quality when he got something good to work with. Certain actors just can do it. Daniel Day-Lewis, they just put something. They can take a character and make that person jump out of that screen like I know that guy. I know that person.
Late Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour
Hoffman.
He was
a different person every role. It was nuts.
Every role. And I forget him. It's sad that dying before you're due, man. And I don't know if there's a such thing. That's even a such thing. But we were robbed of you. We were robbed of Heath Ledger. We were robbed of so many people, man. But Seymour Hoffman was definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. I watched him in a movie with Robert De Niro, as a matter of fact, where Philip Seymour Hoffman was a drag queen. That was one of the funniest. It was funny. It was touching. It was heartwarming. It was all those things. Because the quick synopsis: De Niro was a old guy who was, I guess he was going deaf or something like that, and the world's changing around him and he don't like it. And aside from the fact that I got to live next door to a gay guy who dresses up like a lady, I really don't like that. And they ended up becoming friends. And it was a funny movie. It was a good movie. I can't remember the name of it, but if you get a chance, look it up on Google. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, you would have swore was that's who he was. That's who he was.
Same with Truman Capote. When you played Truman Capote, remember there were two dudes that played Capote. I throw him up as the best. Period.
Who was the other who played Truman Capote?
I can't remember his name. I see his face. He didn't do a terrible job. That's the thing. That's how good Philip Seymour Hoffman was.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go through mine real fast here. So the dudes I can't trust anymore in movies. I already told y'all one was Tom Cruise because he's just too inconsistent for me with films. I'm down for his Mission Impossible joints, but there's just too many that I'm like, whoa, that was a bad choice. Did any of y'all see The Mummy?
Yeah.
I ain't God's name would I do that.
Exactly. All right. Another one is Tobey Maguire. Right after Spider-Man 2, and then after seeing Spider-Man 3, I realized I can't trust this dude any longer. It finally took the Great Gatsby for me to come around on Tobey again. But after that dancing scene in Spider-Man 3, I found my wrapping paper. It is a wrap. Thank you for playing, Tobey. We're done here. Nothing to see. Another one, and this one was kind of a painful one as I realized it over the years, but Bruce Willis, this cat, he was in so many of my favorite action movies in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s. But somewhere along the way, he got lazy and just started coming in for a check. And that was never more obvious to me than in that last Die Hard, where he and Jay Courtney teamed up. And it was just like a by-the-numbers Die Hard where nobody felt like doing anything. I mean, he even managed to mail it in The Expendables. When everybody else was having a blast, he was just like, I'm good. So, yeah, he's definitely one for me. Lawrence Fishburne is one who was just steady. Then right after Predators, he started doing the same character in every role. And I was like, oh, man, Lawrence, I miss that passion and fire and intensity you had back in the day. And another one that we already mentioned was Eddie, because Eddie was a tragedy for me because, man, it was so often I could rely on that cat. And then it just faded to the ether. Now for my list of people who have me excited about going to see movies that they're in, no matter how it looks, Chadwick Boseman. I have not seen this dude in a bad movie yet. Even when he is playing somebody, he looks absolutely nothing like Thurgood Marshall. Down for him.
James Brown.
I mean, at least he was the same complexion as James Brown. That's Thurgood Marshall. I was like, did y'all see what he looked like before y'all shot the movie? Because he looked nothing like Chadwick Boseman.
Zoe Saldana and playing Nina Simone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they went the complete other.
I was so glad he was casted as Black Panther because he was getting ready to play every historic black man from now until the end of his career.
Man, he was about to be Barack.
It was like, ain't nobody left. Like, Denzel did both of them.
Right.
Dang, bro.
So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And another one, to me, his Robert De Niro equivalent for this new generation, Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is such a good actor. This dude can actually get away with the name Michael Jordan. I mean, you think of that? This dude, for many kids, is going to be Michael Jordan. They're like, oh, there was one that played basketball too? Wow, okay.
Oh, they're going to be like Michael B. Jordan.
Right. But I mean,
no, I'm talking about the basketball.
Yeah, right, exactly. So this cat is so good that he can switch to being a boxer in Creed. He's in The Wire. He's in Black Panther, setting up like this generation's Joker. I mean, he's so good. And everything that he's in, I'm like, I'm down to watch that movie because he is in it. So totally down with him. I'm just going to, my last person on my superhero list here, Chris Evans. This dude was an incredible Johnny Storm in the pretty good, okay, Fantastic Four films. Then he made Captain America freaking icon. Do you ever follow him on Twitter? He is actually Captain America as he continues to rail against current political administrations and what America should and could be. Pretty awesome. But he's good. I like him in, like, I probably would not have watched Snowpiercer if he wasn't in it. And I was like, wow, he's really good in this one too. Amy Adams is another one who I just don't see in bad movies. or if she's in a bad movie, she's not bad in it. I just watched American Hustle recently, and she's like totally different from the same character, or she's totally different in that movie than she is in Arrival or in Justice League / Batman vs Superman. She's just a really versatile actress, and I mean, she was doing like Kitty Fair and Enchanted. She's really good, and I like checking her out in pretty much anything. Lupita Nyong'o, she's good. Haven't seen her in a bad film, even if she's just like a background supporting character, like she was in Nonstop. She's solid. And since I mentioned Nonstop, I should probably also say Liam Neeson, who, even if his movies are kind of mediocre, he's always good, incredible, and at least has me interested in giving a movie like The Commuter a shot. Commuter was no good, but Liam did his best in it. So that's my picks on that one, fellas. Thanks for playing along. It's that special magical time of the week. Who are your nominees for Dummy of the Week? Gunner, you weren't here last week, and I left one on the table for you off of that magical funeral that we had a few weeks back. So if you have another one, feel free to add, but I left that one for you. So you can take the floor first.
Man. Oh, wow. Thanks, dude. Yeah. So, what was that Bama's name? Pastor Gravitate. Pastor Gravitate. This Bama gonna be in the pulpit preaching about most likely modesty and whatnot, because it's a black church in Detroit. Trust me, I'm pretty familiar. And I'm pretty sure they got lap hankies up the butt and probably try to give one to Ariana Grande anyway. But then this dude still proceeds to bring her on a stage, throw a racial slur at her, and definitely does that gropey pastor gropey thing that I've heard many of black women, and white women too, have experienced from people in the pulpit anyway. So now we get to see it on national TV. Like, we all told you so. There are still Bama's defending this piece of crap. So I'm on my pedestal, on my pulpit, saying, you put your hands on one leg at a time, dude. Nobody should be looking up to you. If you really believe in God, repent, whatever you got to do. But damn sure nobody should be giving you daggone money to watch you grope some little girl, woman, but little girl. You know what I mean? Like, how old is she? Seriously. How old is Ariana Grande?
Let me go to my crack research staff here.
Yeah, thank you.
Isn't she like 25 for real?
Even still, man, like, come on, man. And that dude was like 40 something. Come on, man. 30-year-old man.
He ain't 40 something.
25.
Okay, this young woman groping up in here, man. Like, come on, man. Like I was saying to y'all, I mean, we all dudes here. I mean, we've accidentally touched a boob here and there. And I mean, for real, accidentally touched a boob, but they were never A cup. You don't accidentally touch an A cup. You meant to touch that A cup.
Exactly.
That's all I got. He needs to step down or something, man. That's whack. And the fact that I'm sure there was a sermon afterwards and everybody was like, oh, it's okay. The devil's just trying to get at you because, yeah, you're doing good work in Detroit. Really? He doing good work in Detroit? How's that water? All right, then. We ain't never heard this Bama ever speak out about real stuff, right? Nope.
Wow.
He called her a taco and that's it, right? He called her a Taco Bell menu and that's it. So I haven't heard him say anything positive. So that's it. That's all I got. Dummy of the other week. Dummy of this week would be that line judge with Serena. No, scratch that. I take that back. I'm gonna pull that one back. That can be saved for somebody else. The cartoonist.
Yeah.
I have a half a mind to just throw out a APB on my Facebook so I can just be like, hey, send that Bama to me, please. Because, I'm pretty sure me and Jeff, we've been in the journalism circles all this time, most of the time. So I'm pretty sure we're 2 degrees separation from the Bama. I'd love to have some words with that cat. Come on through. Come on the podcast. We'll be friendly, I promise.
I won't be friendly.
On characters from the freaking 40s and stuff, man. Come on, man. Better than that. Then they're going to defend it.
Exactly. That was, I don't know if it was even worse, but it's just some kind of trash.
Pretty much. So that's dummy of last week or the other week. Dummy of this week. Done.
Good deal. Chief, you got anything?
I'm going to say the dummy of this week is, how the hell do you walk into a house that is not yours and shoot somebody? Instantly, you know, and you, well, Chief can, you know, Jeff can tell you about this. I've worked 24-hour shifts at times. 24 hours. So I come in at 4 in the morning. I don't leave till the next day, 4 in the morning. And I never walked into my neighbor's house by accident. Not one time. So you walk into another house. You don't like. Did you think the criminal came in and just switched the furniture around? I'm not even sure how that goes. Like, when you look at the furniture in the house, like, oh, he moved all my furniture and all his in.
How you gonna break in my house and hang up pictures of yourself?
Right. And then so, you know, and as the story develops, and I'm like, manslaughter? Just imagine any one of us walking into the wrong house, right? At the end of a long shift, we walk into the wrong house and we shoot a white woman. Just kill her dead. What? Do you think we'll be charged with manslaughter? Do you think we'll get that manslaughter charge?
Nah, man, you wouldn't be around.
I think everybody on this podcast would be like, well, Melvin, don't drop the soap. Jeez. Your shit's fucked.
Exactly.
They
It's
gonna
done.
Like, I don't think you make you try.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you get a manslaughter charge? Like, that's murder. You walk into, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's murder too. Because the only way it's not murder one is because, I don't know, it could have been premeditated, but let's just say it is. Let's say you walk in. I mean, I don't, like I said, it's a dumbass move. I don't know how you do it. First the door's locked, then the door was ajar, then the door was unlocked. I mean, that story takes. I don't even know how she did it. I don't even know how you walk in. I've never, not one time, walked into the wrong house at all.
Heard the updates.
I mean, I've heard that her story has changed several times. First, the door was locked, then the door was unlocked, then the door was ajar.
Mm-hmm.
Then when she walked up to the house, right? When she walked up to the house, he's got a red doormat outside his house. She doesn't have a doormat. So immediately when you walk in, you say, "Oh, what the hell is this?" You look down, and that would make you look up. Like, there's no numbers on the door. There's nothing. There's nothing unusual about anything as you walk in. Nothing.
Well, witnesses have said that they heard her say, "Hey, open this door." And there have been other people, even people that I know that actually know the cat, which is scary enough, said that they were actually had a thing. I don't know if the news is ever going to confirm such things. I think they kind of are trying to.
Yeah.
But people around them are saying they smashed. All I know is my theory is my instinct on that was like, that don't sound right. She probably was pissed.
Exactly.
Got him.
I thought it was my problem.
Yeah, so that's I mean, the week is early. Granted, it's Tuesday, but so far this week that takes the takes the cake. That takes the cake, and anyone
Hey, how many of us have come home? How many of us have come home absolutely trashed? I mean, trashed, done. Can barely formulate a good sentence, but you know where you live, right?
Yeah, never not know where I live. You may look outside the next day and your car parked fucked up.
Yeah, your car's in your neighbor's. Your car might be in your neighbor's driveway, but you know your house.
It's only happened once.
Here.
All right.
I'm done. Okay, this must not be my house. Okay.
All right. Well, I know where
And then you knock on the door. If, let's say you're really screwed up, you might knock on, like, why is my key not working? And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Right.
Eventually, a piece of.
You're not going to go in, open the door when it's magically ajar, because, I mean, like, your theory makes perfect sense. Like, you've been over that apartment a couple times, and then you had a bad day, and then you assumed you were invited in.
Right. And she might be the police, but I'd be damned if she got a universal key to somebody else's apartment. So, I mean, I know police protect their own, but hey, this was murder. So, yeah.
Chase.
Texas, black dude, he's dead. Hey, we ain't gonna see no real justice, y'all. Just saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Chase, you're up. What you got?
Okay. I'm going to go with racist cartoonists. That was just like, it wasn't even just as bad as like he decided that he wanted to make Serena look like a muscular woman having a fit. Now he decides to go in the old Sambo playbook and then makes the Japanese Haitian-born opponent a little diminutive blonde chick. It was like, oh, that's not racist. What are you talking about? It's like, you know exactly what you did. Just say, you know what, I did it. What you gonna do? I'm in Australia. Like, I don't care what the world says. Like, that's how I'm going, and my newspaper will stand behind me. So he's my he's a lot of unnice things, but yeah, he's definitely a dummy of the week for me.
All right, Javon, what you got?
Mark Knight, come on the show. We'll be nice to you.
Mark Knight, we'll be nice to you. Give you a fair shake. Bullshit. I got two. And I know we always say don't go political, but I feel like we got to take it to task, man. If we don't, we're ignoring the elephant in the room. Today marked the 17th, 17 years ago since 9/11. And for anyone who remembers that day, for anyone who was in either Washington, D.C. or New York City, any major city where you felt like, okay, this could happen, or anywhere. I'm not just, limited to the major cities, but for us, we were in Washington, D.C. for me. And I remember this is another reason why Jason is absolutely one of the greatest human beings I know. I was working at because the first plane had just struck. And I just walked in the door a few seconds, literally watching like, oh my God, it's a tragedy.
Javon,
that's crazy, but no New York.
Javon,
yeah.
I didn't hear you. So I'm not sure if everybody else was.
You didn't hear I said.
Nah, you were cutting out like completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the audio today, man. It's my audio levels are reading red. How about now?
Yeah, you're fine now.
How about now?
Yep. You got to get your tech consultant to check you before you come on.
At what point?
Pretty much the whole thing.
Man, I know.
Jason was one of the greatest.
The tech budget is not what Yeah. Because like I said, 9/11 happened, and I was at the Smithsonian at the time, at the castle, and we're watching everything unfold. Then the second plane hits the tower, and at that moment, I was like, okay, this is no accident. That's not an accident at all. This is a terrorist attack. And I grabbed my stuff, and I'm like, I'm out. And everybody was like, why? I'm like, look, they say a plane hit the Pentagon. We're in between the Capitol, the Monument, and the White House. What do you think? We're right in the line of fire. So I run out, and it's complete pandemonium. And I called Jason. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Where you at? Hey, Jason was right there in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's a friend. But aside from that, the horror that day presented, today the president of this country went to a commemorative ceremony in New York City, and what does he do? He takes that moment, a very somber, sad moment where thousands lost their lives, and he gives a double fist pump like he was walking into a goddamn bachelor party in Las Vegas.
It was in Pennsylvania.
It was in Pennsylvania. Okay.
They got the third plane.
Yeah.
But it was just like the complete lack of empathy, of any understanding of what the moment is like.
Empathy,
this means just like
awareness, all of it. This is what I tell I'll tell any Trump supporter to their damn stupid face. This is who you support. For all of your Bible thumping, for all of your America bullshit, This is the idiot that you support. That makes you worse than he is because he's been what he is. We know who he is. You are in support of that. So you can't hide behind your pillars of faith or patriotism because you're just as big a part of the problem as he is. So all of you get I'm sorry, I'm stealing this from Charlemagne, the biggest hee-haw, because you're donkeys. Donkeys. You deserve it. And then the tweet 17 years ago was a 9/11 exclamation point. Where you know what he should have did too was put the LOL or the lols and some smiley faces and some the crying faces, or put crying Michael Jordan 17 years ago 9/11 crying Jordan. It's like, dude, we got to keep calling this dickhead out because it just come on. He's the one donkey of the day for today. The next one, dummy of the week, I gotta give that to whoever put up the Burt Reynolds. They keep doing it, by the way. The Burt Reynolds. I think somebody took that one Saturday, but they keep doing it. They put up Tom Selleck in a picture of him from the Mr. Baseball movie he was in. As one of Burt Reynolds' finest roles. It was one of his sports roles. So they put him up in Longest Yard, the other football movie he did, and him as an aged baseball player from the 1989 film Mr. Baseball, and I damn near choked to death on a bagel. That's it.
All right. Well, Javon, you mentioned half of mine. My dummies of the week are all of us. After 9/11, the nation was in this crazy state of chaos, and everybody didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to happen next, what was going to be the fallout from everything that happened on this day all those years ago. But one thing that stood out was how people didn't worry about color and sexual orientation. They were helping each other. They were in blood banks. They were sitting up trying to get people out of under trapped buildings and so forth. And
they were Americans.
And it was like the one moment where everyone was on the same page, and it didn't last all that long, but everybody was together. And everyone who suffered through that horrific day, that was the one thing that you could stand on, that, man, this is America. This is all right. So there's a part in Avengers, and this is like a really weird analogy, but in Avengers Age of Ultron, they're like going up, Sokovia's in the air, and there's like no hope. There's no hope. They're all going to die because they're going to run out of air, even Captain America. And then Nick Fury comes through with the SHIELD helicarrier, and they come save the day. And Quicksilver goes, so this is SHIELD. And Captain America goes, this is what SHIELD could be like. On 9/11, that was what America should be like. And then all of a sudden, all that goodwill, all of that love for their fellow American has been replaced by all these stupid, idiotic barriers that we've created to divide us. We've listened to morons who stoke the flames of bigotry, and we've fallen for it. And we tweet back, no, you're a dummy. You're an idiot. You're a moron. You snowflake. You conservative idiot. And all the one main lesson that we should have gotten from 9/11, we've forgotten. We've decided to focus on what makes us different instead of that lesson that we learned on 9/11, that we all are Americans. So for that, we are all the big dummies of the week. And that's it for me. Fellas, next week, we're going on to episode 51, the start of the next 50. And we're going to kick it off with our fall preview. What movies you all want to see for the rest of the fall. And probably the way this movie calendar works these days through December as we get into Oscar season. So start lining up your picks. Gunner, I know Mandy's going to be on your list, and we'll shoot it through next week. So that is it for me. And fellas, I could not have done 50 episodes without y'all. Straight up, I love You guys appreciate all the sacrifice of the time away from families, or away from sitting watching the Arrowverse, whatever, tuning in every week faithfully to do the show with me. So thank you all so much. Y'all out there listening, thank y'all. This 50th episode of Lyles Movie Files has been filed.